Well, as you can see, I love watching Cooking with Tittle, and I'm so glad you love watching too, because we've got a new email address. That's right. It's tittleInTheMiddle@live.com. So I do hope you will email your Tittle. I've got some great green things going on for this year and some healthy treats. Bon appetit, and let's eat each and every Thursday at 7 p.m. and Fridays at 2 p.m. right here on Channel 19. And now, back to the show. Hey. Tittles in the middle. Want to have some fun? Welcome to the LaDonna Tittle TV radio show. And today it's our Chitlin remix.
You want to have some more fun cleaning chitlins with that?
With you, Jay, it's always
fun.
Get the chitlin in the middle. LaDonna Tittle TV radio show.
Hi, I'm Kim Coles, and you're cooking with Tittle. Bon appetit. Let's eat. Yum, yum.
Let's eat. Hi, it's your Tittle in the middle, and I look like I just stepped into the frying pan. That's because we've got our chitlins going today and some greens. We're going to teach you how to cook and clean them both right here. Bon appetit. Let's eat. You're cooking with your Tittle. Michael Jackson, in his own words, question and answers in Ebony Magazine, special edition. I tell you, what a smart move. And of course, I know this is in memory of his good friend and my former employer, Mr. John H. Johnson. And those were great days working at WJPC because I got a chance to interview Michael Jackson. They were on their victory tour playing at White Sox Park. Remember the controversy that year versus Soldier Field? And he got White Sox Park. And we had a good time. Oh, it was so nice. And of course, I just call Michael Jackson my other on-air boyfriend. Well, speaking of boyfriends and good things that we love, I've got a great dish for you. Some of your favorite meals you've called about. So I kind of put those combinations together. And I hope you're enjoying some of your favorite shows. And today, it's our Chitlin remix. That's right. We're going to go back to the days of when I started the chitlins, showed you how to clean them, showed you how to clean the hog mogs, and prepare them for boiling, and the red onion so you can keep that wow down, you know what I'm talking about. Well, not only do I have the refresher of the Chitlin remix, but also I've got my new recipe, chitlin stew. Let's get right to it. You're cooking with Tittle. Bon appetit. Let's hog out, pig out with some chitlin stew. Let's eat. Here we are in my kitchen. Bon appetit. Let's eat some chitlins. I'm so happy to invite J.A. Miller, my guest today. He's going to tell us all about chitlins. Well, first of all, J.A., we've got the dirty chitlins and we've got the clean chitlins. Mm-hmm. So we're going to clean the dirty ones, at least we're going to attempt to.
Right. Those are generally the frozen chitlins, and after they're thawed out, we call those the dirty chitlins. We have pre-cleaned, and it's also a third type, in seasoned, they're fresh chitlins. And so we're going to talk about...
So what is this about eating chitlins in the R months only? But now, since we've got nice specialized processing centers that can keep chitlins fresh all year long, they're no longer just eaten in the R months.
Oh no, it's a year-round dish that you can learn to enjoy, and as you're properly prepared, you'll enjoy it.
Some people don't know that chitlins now are a delicacy.
Oh yes, it's a delicacy. If you think about it, if you look at snails, and that's a delicacy in France. If you look at fish eggs, that's caviar all over the world. If you look at the fact and look at fungus that you train pigs to pick up, and you call those truffles in France, when you know we've got good haute cuisine here, our delicacy, our African-American delicacy, chitlins.
All right. And I hear there was another delicacy in Mexico. It's called sleeping excrement.
Oh yeah, it's a fungus, it's a type of fungus. There's so many different things that you can eat all over the world. Some parts of the world they
And
eat.
it comes from corn.
It comes from corn.
Sleeping excrement.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we've got chitlins and hog mogs, and we are going to turn our attention to how you cook and clean them. Of course, first we know that you have to fill up the sink with water, and we have our hog mogs and our pork chitlins, our pre-cleans, and so forth right here. So let's get busy.
That is clean. We go on to the next one. It's just that simple process. You should always turn the inside towards you, and you can see all the fat that's got to be removed. And the easy way is just with a little knife, and it'll come away. And you dip it, and that's what the water's for. The water's to help loosen. You can see all the stuff that was in the pig, and we're going to get it off right now. It is a delicacy. You know, we talked about different cultures. Well, this is, even though it's primarily African American, simply because the slave masters, they threw this away.
As waste.
As waste. We weren't allowed to eat the pork chops and the hams. So we developed a affinity just by having to for pig feet, pig ears, pig tail. We eat everything from the rooter to the tutor. So as you can see,
The rooter to the tutor.
That's right. The whole pig.
My father used to say, you know, you can eat everything on the pig except for the squeal.
That's right. And I'm working on the squeal. So as you can see, I cut some of the long ones. Some other people don't like to cut the long ones because they like the pleasure of cutting them. But in order to make sure you get all of the fat, as you can see, when you turn back, don't be in a hurry. Take your time. And sometimes it'll go right off in your hand. And you dip it, and you just continue on with the chitlins.
Now, how much fat do you take off? Because some people say, well, don't take all the fat off because you don't want you want to leave some of the meat, or I should say, you know,
Well,
that's a fine job that you're
Right, it
doing.
is. What it is it's a membrane, and a lot of people leave that small membrane there. But I like to take that one off too. I don't like to eat fat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's what makes people sick though? Some of them say when you have chitlins, you got to really, really clean them. So is it the black stuff that you see?
No, that's just the waste of the pig. What it is if you don't clean it properly and you don't keep a clean work area. Also, when you're cleaning chitlins, that should be the only thing that you should do. You can get sick with the bacteria if you right in the middle of chitlins, you're going to stop and cook the dinner for somebody, or you
answer the phone.
Answer the phone.
Answer the doorbell, because you're
Especially-
touching bacterial things such as doorknobs.
Exactly, and it spreads. What I was looking at is the University of Georgia. They have a website on chitlins, and what they recommended for chitlins is to boil them 5 minutes. See how I can take all this whole membrane off?
Oh yeah,
And it
I
comes
see.
off very easily if you let it thaw properly and if you just take your time.
All right, do that again.
Okay,
I
let's
gotta
see if we
see
can
that.
find another one.
This is the part that just really just made me sick.
Right, and you can see it. Once you recognize the membrane, then you can just grab it. That's
I
right.
see.
You get a lot of it. I'm going to concentrate on that, and we can just get a lot of it there. See, that's that membrane. I don't leave the membrane on. That's what some of the old school people want. Leave that membrane on, but it's a lot of bacteria there.
Okay, so you want to take off just about all of the fat you can.
Every drop of fat.
Every drop of fat.
Every drop of fat you see. Let me see if I can show you a little bit again. And sometimes when I'm about halfway through, I stop, I reflect on the things that I like to do, I think about the day. And so cooking is never a chore for me, it's always a pleasure.
So what's your favorite music to cook by?
Oh, Luther.
Oh, okay.
Luther Vandross.
All right, Maestro, let's cue up some Luther.
Okay, now you see as I turn the chitlin over, this is the backside that we generally don't clean. But you see it's a hair there.
A pig hair.
A pig hair. No, it better be a pig hair. Okay. But I don't know, look like it better be a dog hair, but it's a pig hair. Okay.
Pigs eat everything.
They eat everything. But you see, this is why you flip the chitlin over so you can make sure that there's no excrement on it. And so that's a clean chitlin. Most people just clean the one side. They forget to look on the other side. It only takes a few seconds. And sometimes what I do, I alter it, I vary it around. Sometimes I look at the back first and make sure there's nothing there. A few holes. And then I know the back is clean and I do the front.
So basically, you are cleaning back and front.
Back and front. That's the difference between, I like to think, inexperienced chitlin cleaners and good chitlin cleaners, because they know wherever the dirt is, get it off. If it's front or it's back. But those who are new to chitlins, later on we're gonna show them how to do pre-cleans, and they don't have to do a lot of this. And so, unless it's for their old school aunt or something, they will love the pre-cleaned chitlins. As you can see, it's a lot of work.
Oh,
It's
man.
2 to 3 hours.
I tell you, when people say we done cooked 60, 70 pounds, come on over, I be flying.
That's right.
Because I know it's a chore.
It's
but
a chore.
I haven't seen this in quite a while. Like I said, when I first started cleaning chitlins, the very thought of it, the look of it just made me ill. But I swear, when they call chitlin time and come to the table, I'm the first one there.
And as you can see, when I just dipped it in the water, some of the fat came off because the heat of the water took it off. It was ready to go, and I just did the rest of it.
So at times we might have our hot water flowing in.
The hot water flowing in, and occasionally we can use our ladle again and take some of the fat. You see, all of this is fat that came off all on its own. That's fat that I didn't have to take off.
I see.
And
It comes right up.
it comes right up.
Very good.
And so we're working with it, but more importantly, it's not a chore to me, it's fun.
Yeah.
You want to have some more fun cleaning chitlins,
Well,
LaDonna?
with you, Jay, it's always fun.
Okay, that's
You know,
good.
I never thought I could even keep my stomach aware of doing this piece, but I
Okay.
said this is so interesting, and I know a lot of my friends who are interracial couples, and sometimes one or the other spouse want to cook a good soul food meal, and the challenge that they tell me is either the husband is saying, I'm going over to my mama's house because you can't cook. Or the wife is saying, I want some real food. I'm tired of eating bagels and, you know, and fish. And, you know, how about some chitlins, honey?
The key thing, the both of them together can clean them, so they get a better appreciation for what they're eating. Of course, the one who is not used to soul food may have to turn away periodically. I think with that person, I'd start with the pre-cleans, and I'll talk about those later. I think.
But you know, after looking at the difference between what you showed us earlier with the pre-cleans, I tell you, I can see why people clean their own chitlins, because they are meatier,
Exactly.
they are thicker,
And they're more flavorful.
and they are more
They are
flavorful.
more flavorful.
I can't tell the difference.
Right.
I can tell it because of the irregularity
And the color.
the color
And the thickness.
and the thickness.
So, as you
Boy,
can
you
see,
clean them thoroughly too.
very thoroughly. As you can see, the longer they soak, the more you can just grab them off with your hand. You don't need the knife every time because you're trying to save that little meat there. Thank you very much, LaDonna. And you look on both sides, the extra minute or two. You see how we caught the pig hair and we caught the dirt in there already? And then that's another chitlin that bites the dust. And when you get to that last one, you just say, whew.
I'm telling you.
But then you think about it. An hour, in my instance, 1 hour from now, I'm eating chitlins because I pressure cook mine exclusively. Once I pressure cooked them, I said that was it. I'm converted.
No more waiting for 5 or 6
That's
hours.
right. No more waiting, and as I'm going to show you, we're going to do chitlins 2 different ways. We're going to do a mild one, and maybe we do a spicy one, so we can satisfy everybody's taste. So now we're getting ready to do a hog maw.
For Uncle Ernest there.
For Uncle Ernest, okay. Now if you look at one of these hog maws, we're going to, it looked very small in that package, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Look at when it comes up. What is it?
Ooh, it's huge. It's a listener. It's a big ear. It's a big ear.
Okay, it's a part of the hog jaw, so I can cut it in half.
Big ear. Wow, what big ears you got.
No, just cut it in half or tear it in half, because the water's allowing to do that.
Listeners.
Now you don't have to get the what's in between,
Okay.
but if it's at the edge, and this is pure fat. Look at that, that's pure fat. I don't like it in mine. Some people, the people who like this are the same people who eat salt pork. I don't eat salt pork, so I want this clean. See that? That's pure fat, and it comes right off.
That eliminates some of that heavy grease too.
Yes, it does. It eliminates a lot of it.
So that's how they used to make lard. Remember when they used to fry in lard?
And look at this.
Now we're vegetable oil people.
And you get, now you see this one big cut right in here?
Yeah.
All of that is,
See it very good.
that is fat and waste, and we don't need to eat it. Don't let
So
anybody.
it cuts down on the fat when you pull it out
See it?
without taking away the meat.
Without taking away the meat. The
You
hog
have
maws are
really
tough.
taught us something today.
Oh, okay, great.
Cleaning the fat from the listeners, or in this case, the hog maw,
Oh, there you go.
the M-A-W.
M-A-W, just like the P-A-W, like paw, and this is maw. Hog maw.
Hog maw.
And as you
Okay.
can see, we can clean it, and I'm gonna let it sit. So there's just a little bit left. But imagine all that fat running in your system, and you say, ooh, I'm eating good. No, you're not. Let it soak a little bit.
Let the hog soak while you pick up yet another chitlin. Oh no, that's another hog maw.
See, you know already. Now you see this,
Well, I can tell the difference.
right? Okay, so this is the poor man's chitlins. When
Okay.
you can't afford the chitlins, you can afford hog maws.
Oh, so they get hog maws instead.
That's right. Well, you mix them together like I told you I would do, my Uncle Bobby. I'd stick some hog maws in the center of the plate and then put chitlins all around it. By the time he got to them, hey, there's some maws in here. I said, uh-oh, it's too late. Your plate's already gone. Next. So you see, and you clean it and see the difference in the cleanliness?
Yes, that looks so good.
And you keep cleaning it, and I'm gonna let this sit. See, this is the difference when I let something soak. You can keep working and working and working at it. See, I can even take it off with my hand.
And we
let
should
the
know
hog-
that to clean hog maws because our own ears get dirty. So naturally our little hog's ears will get dirty.
Well, that's pig ears and pig feet. I've seen people eat the pig ears even though the maw is part of the jaw.
So some of the things that we get from the good old Porky Pig is bacon,
Bacon,
pork chops,
pork loin,
pork loin,
my favorite. The
Pig
bone,
feet.
Pig feet, pig tail, hog's head cheese.
Oh yeah. Okay, keep going.
Okay, you got so much to the food. Well, like I say before, whatever it is that moves on it, somebody's going to eat it. I know this is right, the truth. If it's a part that moves, and as you can see, we cleaned it. We're looking on the back, which most people don't do. They just do the side and say, oh, I'm through. And then that's when the hair comes in, and that's when the people start fighting.
And folks start throwing up.
We're going to do the pre-cleaned chitterlings. As you notice, the pre-cleaned chitterlings are lighter in color because they've been pressurized and sometimes disinfected with a little bit of bleach. So we're going to clean those. We're going to let these, you rinse them out. And now the one main difference between the pre-cleaned and the frozen chitterlings is that you don't need the knife because all you have to do is visually go over the whole chitterling. And you see it's very little. It's a little bit here, sometimes just a little tiny bit. But it's not the big amounts that you would expect from regular chitterlings, which is why it's preferred for those who are really not old school. The convenience, they take a little bit less flavor for a whole lot less work. Thawing, cleaning, and rinsing the pre-cleaned chitterlings should take about 30 to 35 minutes as opposed to a couple of hours with the frozen chitlins and the fresh chitlins.
Now I noticed that you don't mix the pre-cleans and the ones that you just cleaned from the 10-pound pail.
No,
Why?
I don't, because there's a difference, a slight difference in the texture. They say they're the same, but people who've been eating chitlins all their life, they know the difference between pre-cleaned and the frozen chitlins. It's like the difference between imitation vanilla and real vanilla. It's close, but it's not the same. When I'm in a rush, I'll cook pre-cleaned chitlins. Yes, it's just a little bit of dirt, but I really don't care. I don't mind the work. Now I've finished all the chitlins. These are the frozen chitlins. These are the pre-cleaned chitlins, and these are the hog maws.
Glad I got through that chitlin and hog maw cleaning. Let me ask you this question. Do you know what chitlins and potatoes have in common? What kind of stock should you put in a hog maw and chitlin pot?
The importance of potatoes is the fact that it, outside of helping season the chitlins, they get the salt out of there. So if you over season your chitlins, a potato will take care of that. We're also going to add red onions. We're also going to add scallops. Oh, that's wrong. Scallions. We're going to add scallions. We're going to add 2 types of peppers depending on the type that we're going to make.
Well, I must admit, Jay, on this part, I know how to peel potatoes real
Okay,
good.
all right, I figured that part. We also have hot gardenia and the chitlin season mix. Now, all of this is preference. And what I'm going to do today is we're going to make 2 different types of chitlins. Now, before we start, as we talked about before, these are the pre-cleaned chitlins, and these are the frozen chitlins, and we have the hog maws. Now, the hog maws are generally very big, so what we're going to do, we're going to cook the hog maws, and we're going to slice them up first into more bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, because those hog maws,
They
they
are
can
big.
really get something.
They are big.
It's not easy eating pig ears.
Well, it's the jaw, and as you can see, we've cleaned it quite well. And that's the key thing about it. Some people like all the fat there. It's going to shrink in size a little bit, so you can make the pieces a little large if you want. But it has to be manageable. You don't want to know what it is. So as I cut, and I've already rinsed these again. One important thing is you can't hurt yourself by rinsing them too much. I'm going to cook all of the hog maws with the frozen chitlins. It doesn't make any difference. That's just my preference for this meal. You can easily cook them both ways. And
So now you're going to put a little hog maw in the pre-cleans too?
Well, I'll do that for you. Just so you can see how they taste into a different way.
Now that hog maw might help enrich that pre-cleaning.
Yeah, it may add a little flavor to it. It can't hurt.
Since you call them, what you call them, paper thin?
Paper thins. My relatives got different word for them. Imitation chitlins. We're going to divide the potatoes between the 2.
Now don't you have to put a potato on top of the pot?
Well, I'm going to do that. I put some on bottom and some on the top. It flavors it both ways. Now, since this is going to be mild, I'm going to put a couple of mild banana peppers into the mild. I'm going to put a couple of onions. I love onions, by the way.
Me too.
I love my onions, and I put a little garlic there, and I'm going to put a little red onion there.
Well, that's where I get into my little gardenia mix. I kind of put my mix in there with still the same cut. Oh, that looks really good.
Now, the 45 minutes for the pressure cooker does not start until you actually hear the steam starting to move. So this is going to take about 10 or 15 minutes. And once it starts, it's going to be rising and it's going to make a little noise. That's normal. That's what it's supposed to do. So now, I have either our fresh chitlins or our frozen chitlins, and we're going to make them in a big pot because this is generally the way the old school does it. They want a big giant pot. They don't want no pressure cooker. So now what I'm going to do, to the top of that, I'm going to add the remaining parts of my stock. And I'm going to add some hot gardenia because this is the one that we want to be hot. And remember, we put the We've already put the jalapeno peppers. Some like to put everything on the top. I like to put some on the bottom and the top. Some reason. Now the hot gardenia is going to make this a little bit hotter. And you just put a little bit, as much to taste. It's all to taste. And that's it. We turn that on. This is the old-fashioned pot. This is a heavy one. You hit somebody, you hit your husband with that one, he's gonna feel it. He's not gonna bother you for quite a while.
We call those kind of cookware weapons.
This is a definite weapon. This is a heavy one. So now I'm gonna turn it on and turn it to medium. And this one you can start the clock on. You can start your timer on this. You would put it on for like 4 hours, and then check to see if they're tender. But this one, as I said before, you have to allow it to get up to the point of the pressure starting and then give it 45 minutes. And then we'll talk about how to take it out of the pressure cooker. For those who are not familiar with your pressure cooker, please read the instructions. Okay? It doesn't hurt if you give an extra 5 minutes. But I think 45 minutes for the pre-cleaned chitlins is more than enough. And I generally put it about an hour for the fresh chitlins or the frozen chitlins. And that's it, LaDonna. And that's one part of your fantastic meal that you're gonna have. I'm looking forward to your greens. I'm looking forward to your potatoes. Let's get ready to eat.
All right, now that we've refreshed with the chitlins and how to clean them and how to clean the hog mogs, let's get to part 2. More. We're pigging out. Yes, we are, because it's chitlin time. And remember, those are during the months of R. All the months that have R in them are chitlin months. And now, with pre-cleans, or if you like to clean them yourself, you've got your choice, but at least you know how to do it. And a lot of you wanted to see those instructions again. Those are little pre-cleans.
Those are little pre-cleans, and you'll see how one small package doesn't really give you a lot of chitlins.
That's why there's 30, 40 pounders.
That's right. You have to be prepared to do 30, 40 pounds if you want to relax and eat.
And we should remind our chitlin lovers out there and our new chitlin lovers and new soul food cookers that this was the pre-cleans, and they were 4.5 pounds, and that's what they cooked to.
All right, and they will cook new school, which is a pressure cooker.
Right. Our old schools are still cooking good.
Oh, it'll be cooking for another 3 hours.
Of course, they're not making any noise, but they're smelling good, Jay.
For some people, they won't say it's a matter of opinion. They're smelling. But you know, for chitlin lovers like us, that is.
Well, technically, to be honest, they smell like chitlin soup. I mean, it smells like onion soup.
Onion soup, okay.
Woo, I'm taking it to a whole new level. Sweet. And what goes good with some nice chitlins? A good red wine or some champagne. You know, that's always good. And I tell you, while you're doing those chitlins, if you want to entertain your guests and have some fun and keep their mind off trying to smell the chitlins, because when we cook chitlins, they don't smell, because that potato keeps that wow down. That red onion really keeps that wow down. So we're going to entertain them with the proper way to read Chinese fortune cookies. You have a wise spirit. Use it generously in the bed. So much fun. I could go on and on and on, but let's get back to your Tittle-Chitlins remix on the chitlin stew. Bon appetit. Let's eat and enjoy some chitlin stew.